Okay, folks, this is something I wonder how I could afford it back then, back in the days just before the cost of living had suddenly skyrocketed, and I now have to reuse what I've bought last year, primarily. I think, yeah, last year. I don't think I bought anything like this year because of the cost of living. So we're going to make it look good anyway. See if we can make this look really nice. Okay, let's see what we have here. Indeed, it's iconic. It's known as the Rolling Stone, or RS magazine for short. Rolling Stone, a big rich people stardom pop star shit, and we're interested in this picture. So if I'm correct, these are what they were known as In Excess. They were popular back then in the 90s, 80s particularly. They were really popular. I liked some of their stuff, but I'm not a fan. I wouldn't call myself a fan quite. They had some really good stuff in their time. I'm disappointed how Michael Hutchence died. Really sad, but you know, what can I say? I'm not a person who is big on fandom and that, so it doesn't affect me much hearing it. It's just they all die anyway. He was doing something quite strange when he died. It just seemed like a waste of a life. I still appreciate that heaps of fans love their stars and would be very distraught to hear that they've passed away. So many of them are just dying as we speak, perhaps, as we speak, maybe. Now that's come up looking really interesting. I actually wonder if I should maybe enlarge it, or maybe I'll just keep it like that, make it into a movement piece. Interesting, the edge of the book, or the edge of the magazine. I do think I might move it up a bit to get it in the centre. But yeah, it was really sad the way Michael Hutchence went, and he was doing something quite crazy. But you wouldn't be surprised for a pop star to do that kind of thing, some kind of sexual turn-on activity. I think it's to do with starving yourself of oxygen or something for a sexual kick. But it wasn't worth it because his life was cut short by whatever it was he was doing. I think I've got to pull it down a bit. I think pushing it up, I've just trying to think. But yeah, it was really sad, you know. It just seemed like a waste of a life on doing some stupid, silly activity, sexual activity. Yeah, it didn't pay off. But they do sometimes do things like that, pop stars. They do tend to do things like drugs and that. Maybe you could Google how Michael Hutchence died. But basically, yeah, it was really sad. I'm sure the fans were really unhappy. I'm going to move it up a bit further. Going to move it up fucking more than that. Yeah, looks a bit crooked. I've put it too far out that way. It's a little bit crooked, very crooked actually. It's hard to get it just right, get it straight. Yeah, I just can't seem to get it in the middle, folks. Yeah. Maybe it won't be necessary. I'm just going to concentrate on the picture, make the picture into something different. It's not going to be a still piece. So I just thought it's nice to make the first presentation look really good when I'm doing my work. But basically I'm just going to put it over there. We're going to utilise this picture as a movement piece. So yeah, Michael Hutchence, indeed. I do like music, but I'm not a big, quote unquote big fan. I don't scream or I don't go to concerts. I've never been to a rock concert. I've been to some when I was young, folks. When I was young and not anymore. But I used to go to church fellowship. And some of the things we did would go to concerts, so-called Christian concerts, folks. But I feel disenfranchised by, I don't know if that's the right word, disgruntled by the church, because I don't feel like I fit in. I never really felt like I fitted in with the church groups that I went to, and I always felt on the outside and really hurt. And that's come up looking quite a treat actually. So the thing is, folks, I have been to some churchy sort of concerts, but I've never actually been to a proper rock concert or pop concert. I've only just been to the church ones, that's it. I've never actually been to a real concert, but I don't go to church anymore because I feel alienated by them. They don't treat me like I belong, so I don't give them any fucking patronage. So I'm basically, if you want to call me something, an unchurched Christian, folks. My mum used to always keep telling me when I was young, you don't need to go to church to be a Christian. Truth. You don't. And church has just got such a cultural problem in it, and it's just so fucking wrong. They don't even know how to witness anymore, so I don't fucking bother with them anymore. So I just give the churches a general, up yours, fuckwits. So yeah, just the fucking middle finger to salute them, folks. I don't have any kind of respect, or I'm going to maybe make this into a negative image. Like my idea of what church is all about now. The culture of church is just so repulsive now. I just can't be bothered. No, I can't. Honestly, I can't be fucking giving a shit anymore about them. If they want to keep telling me that I'm not a Christian because of my past, they can go fuck themselves. The past does not determine my future, bitches. So I'm not going to fucking let them overrule me because they think I'm not one of them. Well, I am one of them, but they don't believe me. And a lot of people get pushed to the outside, the outskirts. So no, don't go to church, because church has got a really bad problem, folks. And if people hate the Christian faith, I don't blame them, because the whole fucking culture is wrong. And people just get disgruntled, like I get disgruntled. So, I just don't care anymore. I don't care anymore about being a part of the group or being a part of the crowd. I'm trying to get in touch with my partner Luigi. He shares my faith as well as my passion for photocopiers. And I'm sure he's disgusted too with the culture of everything there. So, you know, sometimes you just got to break away from the mainstream and just make your own way, do your own thing. Luigi and I, we don't need a fucking congregation to tell us we're Christians. We don't need a fucking congregation, folks. We know it in our hearts. It's in our hearts, folks. It's here where it's most important. It's here in our hearts. And that's come up looking a bit better with the dot matrix original. Wondering if I'm going to leave it like that, or if I'm going to maybe, just wondering if I'm going to cut it there because I've got some faces there, or maybe cut it here, or leave it like that. Sorry about the poor lighting, folks. But yeah, I used to go to those concerts. They used to be interesting. I liked some of the bands. There was one band I liked called Rock Laundry, or Bill Nielsen and Rock Laundry. And he made some really good electronic covers of famous songs, and it was really cool. I really liked Bill Nielsen and his band. He had a wife as well. He brought his wife into it as well. They both musos. I don't know what's happened to Bill Nielsen. I haven't heard. I tried to look him up on the internet, but I can't find him anywhere. But he was a really good muso, and his wife as well. And then having that was a really good band. Actually, I saw it at what used to be. It's no longer happening now. It folded on us, and the last concert was in the last celebration. The last festival was in 2014. It was called Black Stump, and it used to be a Christian arts festival, music and arts festival. And I used to go. I've been there twice, but I still wasn't really happy when I came the second time. But I met Bill Nielsen there in 1990, and I went also in 1991. And I thought Bill Nielsen was really cool because he took a lot of secular music and made it into covers, his own covers, and they were really cool sounding covers, like he did Everybody Had Fun Tonight by Wang Chung. He covered that, and that was a real rocker. So he did some really good shit. And I think that's why it was called Rock Laundry, because he just changed it and gave it a laundering, and it sounded really good. Just like a fresh set of clothes out of the washing machine and out of the dryer. Rock Laundry. I don't know what's happened to Rock Laundry. I'm really disappointed I couldn't find them. So, let's see how we go with that. So I don't go to church anymore, folks. I find I get very disgruntled about it, so I'm not going. And that's come up looking quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.